Legends. This is the first podcast, the first brother boxing. Well, hang on. No, it's not really a podcast, is it? All right, I'll start again.
We're off to a good start. This is awesome, guys. Log in. You'll love this.
My mic dropped out.
Mic drop.
All right. Team, what? I was not even welcoming.
No,
yeah?
just...
All right.
G'day, guys.
All right. G'day, legends. This is, we're in the podcast studio up the back of the gym. This is something that we've been working on. It's been a long time coming and it is finally here. And yeah, I'm joined for our first little segment with none other than our manager and ops manager, Nicola Piper. How you doing, legend?
Hello, boss.
So you might have seen Nikki around the place getting the dog, but she's also, as of last year, part of the team, and is a big part of, I guess, making sure everything's honky dory in the club. But tell everyone a little bit about, I guess, what you've been doing and what you plan on doing, and why you are such a epic addition to the team.
Oh, thanks, Jacko.
Talk yourself up a bit, Nick.
Well, that was a pretty epic introduction.
Yeah, pressure's on now.
Well, I guess what I'm trying to do is organise you. No.
Pretty much, yeah.
I'm doing all the behind the scenes stuff. So anything in the way of administration through to the building and safety and all the stuff that no one really wants to do. I'm doing that stuff. But alongside Jacko, we're working hard, obviously, to build, just the foundations of the gym even stronger than what they are. They're already amazing, but we're just building the community, really, aren't we? And just getting some really good processes and procedures in place so everything's running really smoothly, and I guess, having a really well-oiled machine.
That's it. I was going to say, in my head, you're like the glue. That's like, we've got all these things going on, and there's so many different, things that we've, like, either whether it be a program or whether it be just the day-to-day, processes that go with just, it's not all just running sessions and all that sort of thing. There's much more to it, and then you're like the glue that sort of like brings it together more so it can flow better.
Stop it.
But it's been a lot better since you've been here.
Oh,
so,
thanks, mate.
Yeah, definitely definitely excited.
It's pretty easy to wake up when you enjoy what you're doing and you work with good people. So it's not hard to wake up and want to go to work.
No, that's good. That's good. Yeah, definitely. That's a big part of, I guess, what we're trying to build here in general. It's always been like I don't know. You turn up. It's everyone you're working with, they're all good mates, and it's not a corporate environment, and I never want it to be like that. Like, even though it has to run, smoothly and all that sort of thing, but I think it's it's all about the people that you do get involved.
Absolutely.
Plays a big part in how all that sort of works out. But we got a good team and it's looking bright. So
we have plenty of fun along the way, that's for sure.
Yeah. Now, you recently helped us out with getting our 6-week challenge up and running.
Absolutely.
And tell the team a bit about that. Handball.
All right. So we've got the 6-week challenge running.
My plan is just to freak Nikki out about the podcast as much as possible.
Okay.
Because then if she's freaking out about it, then, hey, that's two of us. So.
Yeah. So the challenge obviously has been available for members and non-members, and it's really just a challenge of building small habits to take on beyond the 6 weeks and nail it in our everyday life, which I think everyone's really been amazing, really. We've got a group chat, a portal that everyone can log in and put meals and recipes and what they're doing differently and whatnot, and everyone's amazing.
There's a few really locking in and getting it.
100%.
And they're getting wicked results because of it.
Yeah. I was actually stalking Lisa on our Instagram page and looking at her photos prior to the 6-week challenge, and then one you took of us doing boot camp last weekend.
Yeah.
And huge changes. Amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it's working.
Yeah. But it's not just about the weight loss, I think, as well. There's, from what I'm seeing, that even, the people that aren't necessarily coming to boot camp or whatever, a little bit of weight loss, but they're honing in on the mindset stuff and
absolutely.
Making those, I guess, changes, moving towards a little bit more discomfort, because I think everyone that got signed up for it, they were all saying the same thing, and that was, I need to do something, because they just can't get it back together.
Yeah.
We've all been there before, we've all been fit before, and we've all been, I guess, not in the best shape or not in the best, don't have any momentum and things like that.
Yeah.
And it can be hard to, I guess, get that momentum back. And I think, naturally, without consciously making an effort to move towards discomfort, I think we fall into habits of being comfortable and what that 100%. Means. It ends up showing up physically as well.
Yeah, that's it.
But it also, you don't realise how much it affects your mindset, where if you're always comfortable and then you go and try and do something that's uncomfortable or try and get the ball rolling, yet you're still trying to be as comfortable as you can, then you find yourself, I guess, doing things that you said you weren't going to do and all that sort of stuff. So, but taking that, right from this day, this is what we're doing, and implementing the cold showers and things like that. Some of those, some of those habits.
Water before 12 o'clock. That's been big.
Yeah, structuring it a bit. Yeah.
And you think about it, subconsciously, I'm constantly, because I'm doing the challenge myself, I'm thinking, oh God, I'm looking at my watch now. I'm it's 11:13 a.m. I've still got to drink the rest of that before 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
And just the little things, when you lock in and you're I'm going to do this, I go home and I'm those pizza shapes look really good, but I'm not going to eat them because I've been eating so well. And you don't want to ruin that because you've locked in. And when you do lock in and you're accountable and you've got that little portal that you can fall back on, you kind of feel if I eat something, it's kind of I'm cheating. I shouldn't be doing that. So I think it's really good to have that little, the little kickstart that gets you going. And being March now, I think everyone's settled into the new year. Everyone's ready to give it their all and start the year off, and we can just be better.
Hell yeah.
After a big Christmas and New Year and holidays, everyone's kind of all right, time to stop sucking down the pudding after dinner and lock in.
Yeah, that's one of the hardest ones, But then even, breaking that addiction as well, and the way that 6-week challenge, I like that it treats sugar like a drug.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It creates that, hang on, this is actually pretty serious, because when you, you wouldn't give cocaine. They say it's as addictive as cocaine, yet you wouldn't give a cocaine addict just a little bit of cocaine every day.
That's right, yeah.
But everyone goes, I can just have a little bit. But then all of a sudden, they're just eating heaps, because it's as addictive as a drug. And then, if they were just doing it on the weekends. Do you know what I mean? It's just a little bit of cocaine on the weekends. It's no, you wouldn't do that with a drug addict. Yeah.
No.
So, but then also there's serious consequences of eating sugar every day, like later in life, that's going to come and bite you in the ass,
Yeah.
like eventually. So, you know, taking that little, like, hey, this is how serious we need to take those little decisions, like having a
Yeah.
little thing, like getting control of it first, and then you can go and play a little bit here and there or whatever.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I think that's what makes it, you know, that's the thing that, I guess the mindset shift on, hey, I should not eat that, like these biscuits, just for a little bit while I get my shit together.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Just till I'm under control and I'm not binge eating.
Yeah.
Then maybe I can have one biscuit every now and then.
Yeah.
But yeah.
When you're disciplined enough to then make
Yeah,
that
that's
decision, not you know, a junkie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just going,
I'll just eat that whole packet of Tim Tams.
no,
So
I'll
it
be
won't
right.
matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've
sure.
all been there. Nah, it's
Yeah.
good. And I think the cold showers and stuff and just the whole process of it has been
Yeah.
really good.
And we had Conan from State of Nirvana down with the saunas and the ice baths.
Yep.
That was awesome. Everyone loved how much benefit they got from that, and a few of them sort of got into the whole, like, right, I can do this. So have taken that home now, and they're doing the ice baths and getting in the sauna when they can. And yeah, so that was good.
Yeah.
It was a real challenge for everyone mentally and physically, because I'd never done an ice bath before, and I got in there, I was like, whoa.
I'm never getting in this again.
But it's
Is
like,
what you said.
I was saying to Conan at the end of it, I said it's like, it's quite an addictive feeling, because you feel amazing when you get out. You
Yeah.
get out. Well, we got out and jumped in the sauna, and then we jump back in, and it's like, it's a different kind of, like, dopamine hit.
Yeah.
You know,
It's a massive dopamine hit. But
people
it's,
source it in other ways,
yeah,
whereas...
but it's long lasting. So
Yeah.
it'll last you like 2 to 3 hours of feeling $1,000,000.
Yeah, that's it.
Whereas when you're scrolling and you're getting your dopamine hit, it's like, it's this tiny little dopamine. You put the phone down and all you want is more.
That's it.
Yeah, I found we got the ice bath here in the studio, and when I first got that, I was having like 2 5-minute ice baths a day. Like, I was just like, I was loving it. Like, because
Yeah.
you just feel, so good. And then, like, I'd be doing my work and I'd be just focusing on task by task, just powering through it. It just made such a difference. And it was not because I was like, oh, now I'm, focused. It was like, I didn't need that dopamine hit of, like, if I went to my phone to send a message, I wasn't on then, getting sidetracked and going to
distracted
something
and
else.
scrolled
It was
and-
just
yeah.
because I didn't need to. I was just like, I wasn't on my phone looking. I wasn't then opening my emails, and then it's just like, hang on, no, I'm doing a task. It required me to send a text to somebody and put the phone straight down, and I'm back on.
task,
Like,
yeah.
it was really, really weird. So, but then just got to a point where I'm like, hang on. I'm like, could this be bad for me? I started looking up all this stuff about, like, how often you're doing
Yeah,
it.
right.
And then, it was all good, but I was just like, I should slow it down just a little bit. And yeah.
Well, even one of the girls doing the 6-week challenge, and we'll get back to that in a minute, we've gone way off track,
That's the beauty of potties.
who wears a whoop, she was saying that beforehand she was chatting to a colleague, and she also wore a whoop as well, and their sleep wasn't great, and they weren't in that recovery mode or whatever state. And she said, I told her, try and have a couple of cold showers. Like, if it's not every night.
Nikki. Nikki.
Sorry, guys.
There's someone next door drilling into the wall or something.
Anyway, so she said to her colleague, try the cold showers. And she was in the green. I think it's green in a whoop.
Yeah,
and she
yeah,
was like,
just
it's the
recover.
only thing I've changed, and it must be the cold showers. So there's so many health benefits to all these small, like, habits we're trying to implement into this challenge that are so beneficial. And until you stop doing them, or until you, collate all your information, you don't realise how much it's benefiting you. Even if it is, 500 mils of water as soon as you wake up, or the cold showers, or turning off your phone at 8 o'clock and giving yourself a rest from screens for a couple of hours before bed, all making a massive difference. But until you implement them, you don't realise the benefits, which has been unreal for everyone and across the board. So many people have given up bad habits.
Quitting smoking. And all that sort of thing. And going very, very strong.
Yeah.
You know, I think there's the program, the way it's set up is like, obviously for, we're trying to get people in shape and fit and lose weight, although it's helping them kick other habits as well and that are not serving them. But also the momentum and the strategy itself is like to quit smoking. That's a whole different ball game. To getting in shape and all that. Like
Absolutely.
you can smoke and get in shape. Like you can smoke and lose weight. You know what I mean? But
to make that decision, and go, I don't. If I'm doing everything else that's super healthy, why am I doing this one thing that's not? It's not giving me any benefit. In fact, it's costing me money. It's making me feel worse. It's no good for my health. Which has been incredible. Yeah,
I think one thing about the strategies and like they're all little things where say like cold shower or whatever, right? What we've been talking about, it's like that has a whole list of different benefits. And then it's like, exercise has a whole list of different benefits. And then you go into the nutrition side and it's like, these specific vitamins or whatever that we're getting out of our food these nutrients, they're responsible for, say, 100 to 200 or something different processes in the body. And then it's like, so once you start doing these minor sort of things, you don't realise that in the background, in your body, all this crazy stuff starts happening how it's meant to happen. So a lot of people give the cold showers and ice baths and stuff, and they'll look at that and they'll go, that sort of stuff, it's like everyone good on you, getting in the ice bath. And it's just like, well, for some people, like that is creating a lot of willpower and things like that, so that it's not necessarily about the health benefits itself, it's about the mental benefits as well, that's now allowing them to quit smoking and do all these other things.
It gives them the clarity of, right, this is my body, this is like, we only get one chance at it, let's give it the best.
And it's weird that like I don't know if it's the same for you, but when I've got all my ducks in a row and then I spend money on a supplement like a vitamin or something like that, if I'm eating well, if I'm eating junk food or anything like that, like or if I'm lacking sleep and all that sort of thing, I don't feel the benefits of the vitamins that I take. But then when I've got all my ducks in a row, I'll have a vitamin and I'll feel the benefits. Like, I'll be like, these helped me. Like I was switched on today, or I was had a good energy today, or I take vitamins that are like more for that sort of thing, cognitive or energy, or reducing stress to like boost good hormone production and whatever. Like
what kind of hormones?
Just the big dogs, mate. Just the big ones, the big T, mate, the big T. There's all sorts of like herbs and like roots that are like really natural products, and so then it's not it's not testosterone, not taking testosterone. It'll be like ashwagandha or something like that.
So just boosting all those little things in the background.
Yeah, one of them's like Tonkat Ali, and then you've got ginseng, and then you've got like there's fenugreek or whatever. There's all these like supplements out there, and then if I have them but I'm not looking after myself, makes no difference. And then once I'm doing these sorts of programs, or like I'm eating well, I'm training, I'm sleeping well, or whatever, like even just those alone, all of a sudden all the supplements I'm taking, I'm like, these are helping. Absolutely. But a big thing about, I guess, this program as well is everyone is starting at different points with different lifestyle habits and things like that, and everyone's like, it's not just like a whole bunch of like fit people that are or people that are pretending to be fitter than they are either. Like everyone is where they're at, and they're on, and we're all able, like the environment, we're able to be honest with where we're at. I think that 100%. Comes down to like how we teach and the culture in the gym throughout. But
just touching on that before you go on, there is, when you just said, we're not all pretending, that's the best thing about this gym. There is no egos. Like, I feel like
we don't feel like you need to lie to your coaches about
and there's no
what
one
you've been
coming
up to
in going, I've just smashed out 20k run, I've done this. Everyone's real. There is no egos. Everyone's who they are. Like you said, everyone's on a different fitness journey or fitness goals, whatever it might be. No one is top dog.
We've got athletes.
100%. We've got really incredible fighters
But everyday people and coming into an environment where if you played up on the weekends or whatever, or you haven't been in for a while and then you're coming back, it's like you're not like coming in and going, I've been running, I've been doing this, and there's no nothing like that. Like, and I think
everyone gets around one another, which is the best, and
100%.
I think that's why boxing is why the way it is, because the culture is awesome and everyone's real. There's
100%.
There's no douchebags.
Yeah, that's the unwritten rule. No dickheads.
Yeah.
But that's why I feel like one of these programs works so well, is because then you go into a program like this and the people doing it aren't lying to you about what they're doing either. So that makes it this, right, here's where we're at, and we can be honest with that, and then we can do X, Y, and Z and build from there. It's not this like, I don't know, as soon as if you're lying to other people about where you're at, you won't mind lying to yourself.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like, you won't mind going against your word when it comes to what choices you made in the pantry or whatever. Do you know what I mean? It's just that, that truthful sort of, I guess, culture where it's like, you then you can actually be accountable. So everyone, and then they might say like, hey, I had a bad weekend or whatever, and it's just like, okay, well, here are like some strategies, or like, here's how we can help you with that.
And it's sustainable moving forward. It's not like, oh no, you've got to live on carrots and you've got to work out for 3 to 4 hours a day, and it's just the small things that build up to making the lifestyle sustainable, and
it's
the process,
strategies and the tools, rather than, hey, here's your schedule, here's what we want you to do.
Yeah.
It's like, no. You create, here's all the tools, you create your first schedule and what your day looks like, and you like, we give you the tools and you implement it, and then you learn about why we're using these tools and why, hey, this is an important sort of strategy or approach, and then the I guess the mindset going into that, like having all those strategies and the way we deliver it, is like, commit yourself fully to it and get the benefits first before you go in and go, oh, I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, no. Give it a go, learn about it, feel the benefits, and then go, okay, is that something that I'm willing to continue?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people would be like, oh, no way, cold showers, hell no. And it's just like, and then they go and they do cold showers, and then all of a sudden, like, and make a routine out of it, and then they feel the benefits, and they go, you know what? I think I might do cold showers every now and then. Do you know what I mean?
It doesn't, like you said, it can be once a week, twice a week. It doesn't have to be every day, every shower.
But if you go in and just do one cold shower for 10 seconds and then you go, no, stuff this.
Yeah.
Or if you just cut it off completely from the get-go, you're not going to get the benefits out of it.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to the 6-week challenge.
Yeah.
I think it's going really well. And
It's going really well.
for the people that are committing and all that sort of thing, they are killing it, and they will continue to. And I look forward to the last week being next week, where we sort of touch base on how to continue those, and do the mental reps, like we were saying, and get everybody, painting their, I guess, what was it? Living a little, or their moderation level, what they consider moderation, from a more disciplined mindset, so that they're not just, living a little, but they're living too much, and it's, not serving them. So, yeah. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah. So, the other component we're doing is the strength in the 6-week challenge, which has been, the results have been incredible. So we've been doing we've been on the timetable. We've got 4 strength sessions happening a week, and most people have been attending the 2 on a Tuesday and a Thursday, and we're crushing the results. It's been amazing watching people sort of smash out like insane results.
Weights.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, that was even yourself with the deadlift. It's like, right, all right. And it's
just quietly deadlifted 90 kgs last week.
Nice, Nick. Big clap for Nick.
Got to throw that one in.
But yeah, again, it's that. I guess, hey, we know we should be lifting weights. Like, we know we should be staying strong and keeping our body strong. And then turning up, we've done this 6-week block. It's like, right, okay, we're going to commit to 6 weeks of it. And then, you go and you do one weight session, you pull up sore, and then you don't get much strength gains, and you know what I mean? And then you
everyone's loving it though. Like, everyone is saying, oh, I'm doing this better, or I'm doing that better, and I'm sure it's because of the strength. Because we all do a lot of cardio in the boxing sessions. Yeah. And our boot camps we're doing on a Saturday morning predominantly have been
cardio.
Yeah, full cardio, which is tough. But even I'm noticing, like, I love running. Running just seems easier. Like, I finish at a run, or I get to like 6Ks, and I'm like, I just feel like I've been running for 5 minutes. I'm going to keep going. Like, everything just feels better. Everyone's bodies are stronger. Everyone's recovering quicker.
Yeah.
So there's so many benefits.
The stronger you are, the less damage you do to your body in your cardio session.
Yeah.
Like, your body's more stronger, so it can handle a lot more. But yeah, the way I've been what I've been saying to people is, now that they've done for almost 5 weeks, or they've done 5 weeks now, so now they're feeling all the benefits. Whereas, so cardio, you'll get started and, you go for a jog or something like that, and you probably feel good after doing it, or there might be like a week where, you feel, like it's a bit hard or whatever. But then once you get going, you feel $1,000,000.
Yeah,
and then
it's addictive.
Yeah, if you don't train, you feel more sluggish, right?
Yeah, that's it.
And then with the weights, it might take, 3 weeks, maybe a little bit longer, to really feel the benefits. But there are just as many, if not more, benefits in strength training as there are to cardio. So cardio's got this big long list of benefits here, but then strength training's got this big long list of benefits as well. So it's like, if you're only doing one, then you're only getting this list. Do you know what I mean? You're not necessarily getting all these other things. And
so, the strength is like a massive complement to any training. It's like, if you're doing all this training, it just should be a necessity that you're doing the strength as well, because that is just going to make everything better.
Yeah,
all your training, all your recovery, everything, our bone density, everything. I know for a woman, it's so imperative, because there's obviously so many benefits, especially as we age and we go through different stages in our life.
And bone density, like osteoporosis.
Yeah, absolutely.
Women.
Not just, weight loss and fat burning and all those things, but the weights is so crucial. And I'm just finding, as I hit my mid-40s, it's very important.
How'd you pull up after your PB? Fine?
Fine.
Yeah?
Fine.
There you go.
Oh, I mean, I must admit the next day I was like, oh, I can feel a little bit. But my recoveries have been really good. I'm making a really conscious effort to roll and stretch and stuff like that, which I haven't been good at. But I've been really focused on doing that the last 6 weeks, and I will continue to do it. But my body is definitely recovering better. Even after, like a full-on smashed out session with you or with Jenna or with Jimmy, whatever, I'm finding definitely the body recovers better. And I'm sure that's because the strength and I'm eating better whole foods and all that sort of stuff.
The way we've structured the program, I think, helps too, because if it's all just like random exercises, like we can mix it up. Every session is completely different, although that won't get you as many benefits as locking into, say, 3 to 4 weeks of deadlifting and of your bigger lifts and stuff, and gradually like increasing the weight, like the progressive overload. It's like the way it's structured is meaning you're able to see results from your workouts. Whereas, if you're just sort of mixing it up way too much, you end up, just not getting the results and fluffing around a bit. And I think that, like, a lot of people do little bits and pieces in the gym. A lot of the guys that are doing the strength have cancelled their memberships at other gyms because they come here and, like, we might not have like all the fancy machines and things like that, but we're doing all of our major lifts and things like that, and we're sticking to a program, and they're getting more results out of that than going and just doing things themselves as well.
And you don't need all that fancy stuff. Like, if you're a good trainer, which we have here, you can do all those fundamental moves and lifts and whatnot with the equipment we've got here.
So much better, I think, more benefits in free weights than on machines. Yeah. Definitely. But you got to learn how to use those, and that's where the coaching comes in. But even so, we've got, whether you're a fighter or an athlete or you're just young and want to get good at boxing, you're going to have better results with strength training. But then for anyone over 30, I don't know exactly what the stat is. Look, I'm not a scientist.
You're not far off, Jacko.
Yeah, but I'm not far off. Yeah, I've got glasses. I've got reading glasses, so I'm pretty clever. But
you got a lab coat?
I'll have to get one for the next podcast and just come in spitting stats that I have no idea about. But it's something like, after 30, there's like X amount of percent of decrease in muscle mass. I think it's like 1% even. So if you're inactive, it'll happen. It'll happen very quick, like 1% per year or something like that. But if you are, this is lean muscle mass, right? But if you're, like, say you're doing the boxing, that would be slower, but it'd still be going down. But then if you're doing weights and all that, you actually increase lean muscle, or you can if you're, doing things like an absolute machine, right? You can increase your muscle mass as well. Do you know what I mean? Or just maintain and that not be the case. So you always see people that it's like, oh, you look great. What do you do? It's just like, duh, I do exercise, I lift weights, and I eat well. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's not rocket science, but but you always get those sort of questions, like, as you get older. Quick story. Got two stories for you. Stood on a
quick story. No such thing as a quick story.
Stood on one of those scales where it tells you like all your bone density, this and that, and then it gives you a bio age, and my bio age was 28, so I'm still a 28-year-old young man.
I guess if I stood on it, mine would probably be around
21.
21.
But then another story. So when I was young, 26, I think it was, I was only boxing. I stopped weights at about 23, 24, and then was just boxing, losing weight for comps and blah, 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 but just boxing, right? And I got to a point where my hip started like having this odd feeling, and then it started getting painful, and I ended up giving myself like a hip impingement. So I had like a big imbalance, but it was because my glutes got so weak and my hip flexors got tight over time, and I would have lost muscle because before I stopped weights, I was doing weights every day. Like I was doing like 6 days dead sets, 6 days a week, sometimes doing 2 different sessions in a day. So I might do legs in the morning and then, so I was getting stuck in. And then literally from there, just like deterioration, like after just doing cardio. And then, ended up getting a hip impingement, and then went and saw a physio. Yeah, these are the strengthening exercises and things like that. And when he got me on the on this machine on my left leg, because I demonstrate on my left leg a lot, I could push my own body weight, like, not comfortably, but not crazy hard. Went to push my own body weight on my right leg, couldn't even push my own body weight.
Yeah, it's crazy,
so it's like,
isn't it?
I think, and he's like, yeah, well, that's a problem. Like, you've actually got a really weak glute.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So you can be just going through life like, feeling like everything's all good because you're not injured, yet like that's the level. Like, unless you're actively trying to improve your strength, you are decreasing strength basically.
100%.
So that's why we've trying to implement it in the program, because whether you're young and want to get good at boxing, like, it's going to benefit you. But we've got a lot of people that are, in their 50s, 40s, 30s that should be doing weights training.
Yeah.
So,
and there's not many athletes out there, especially, there's probably no athletes out there that are at a high level that don't incorporate weights in their sessions.
100%.
Like, you look at all the AFL players, they're always doing strength and agility. You look at netballers, they're doing the same. Even boxers, I'm sure they're doing.
Yeah, you're seeing it more now, and you're seeing it more in amateur boxers as well, because boxing's got like this old school, there's the old school training. Don't get me wrong, it's unreal, and you could just do that basically, but all the athletes that are doing that and like heavy strength training and slowing things down or whatever it might be, and sticking to, like we were saying, like structured programs like designed for them, then they're getting the edge. And I think now it's seen more in the pros. Now you're seeing it more in the amateurs as well. So you see local amateur boys getting stuck in. Riley does heaps of weights training.
Yeah.
Does like deadlifting and all that sort of stuff. I'd like to see him come and do it all with us, but he's a whole new boxer now.
Yeah.
Like, he's a whole new beast, and it's
Absolutely.
like, right, well, so yeah, it does definitely serve benefits, but then we've got a whole crew of like people that are just trying to get fit, like be healthy, make good changes, and if we're only offering just the boxing, then they're missing out on that whole other list of benefits. So, yeah, it's it's going well, and I'm excited about it because like it's taken off, and it's getting results, and people are getting excited about it. The 6 weeks is almost up, but I think that they're gonna, we'll get a whole lot of those people still continuing on with it.
Yeah.
And we encourage everybody that has been thinking about doing some weights to definitely
come down. You'll love it.
Get in, give it a go. You can start slow, build it up. We got all, like the gym in itself, we've got people from all walks of life, all skill levels, all fitness levels. So, we've got modifications for exercises. So you just build up from where you're at, and within a few weeks, like, you can feel like a whole new person, like feeling a lot stronger. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Some of the aches and pains as well, like, I don't know, you've got sore joints or you this or that, and then it's like, oh, no, lifting weights would hurt. And it's like, mate, you lift weights, you strengthen the muscles around it, and then it takes off some of those aches and pains as well. So sometimes you're like, oh, I feel old. And it's like, and then you start lifting weights and you're like, oh, I'm not old.
Yeah. No, absolutely. You've got to, it's only strengthening everything and making everything mechanically work better together. So, all 100%. Benefits.
What else have we got going on at the gym? We got an upcoming My Zone challenge.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Everyone's got to get around that. Get your My Zones 100%. If you want. They're on special at the moment. $120 down from $199.
Yep. So saving $79.
Yeah. And they are cool because they tell you all the things that you want to know about your workout, and you can't cheat because you're up on the board, and Jacko, Jenna, Jimmy, Chop all know when you're working hard, because if you're not in the red zone, they want you in that red zone.
Keeps you accountable in sessions. But I think the biggest thing is having the leaderboard up there, whether there's a challenge on or not, having the leaderboard there, where you can, have targets. It's got a monthly target in there. Your ranking system.
You can wear it not just when you're at the gym too. Like if you're going for a run, chuck it on. If you're vacuuming the house, put it on, because you're building up all those MEPs, and then it'll sync when you come to the gym and you could be on top of the leaderboard.
There you go, mate. There you go. And the new ones are
they're
water.
They're on your wrist too.
So those ones, I forgot to mention, they are they're waterproof. So if you're doing any swimming or whatever, you can use them in the pools.
Yeah.
But I just like the camaraderie and things like that. So, each challenge we do, we always get new people jumping on board.
We love a bit of banter here at the gym, so there's always someone giving someone plenty of stick.
Well, it's them giving me a little bit of stink, because they'll be like, you're the coach, man, you're meant to be at the top. And but it's just, I don't know. I think as it grows as well, it's going to offer more of that. The more people that are involved, the better that's going to be, week to week. So,
And we want to get everyone involved, because this gym is so community-based and everyone gets around one another. The more of you that are involved, the better it is, and the more fun it is, and the more banter we can have. And
we've got our community, but then we've also got our little My Zone community as well. So it's kind of like, you can get involved in that too. And then, ideally we have a majority of our members on that board.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
absolutely.
And kicking goals, the more that get involved, the better. So if you've been thinking about getting one, definitely get one and do it before April, so that we can kickstart it hot. Everyone that gets one gets right into it as well. Like Jeansy got one. And mate, he
doesn't miss a session.
Now he's like, mate, he's always got it on. He's always, checking his tile out and all that sort of thing. He's ranking. He's
always in the red.
He's like, if he's training, he's got to make sure he's got his My Zone on for sure. And then Charlene just got one.
Yeah.
And then Charlene's, she's on the top of the leaderboard.
She's on the top.
Because it doesn't matter, and that's the beauty of it. So you got Jeansy, who's like, doing high rocks and boxes like a madman.
Runs 50 blocks before each class.
Yeah, gets in early, does his run. Like, he's fit, but you can still compete against him.
Yeah.
Even if you're not so fit, or you're just getting started. It's like, because it's all based on your data, on your fitness and your data. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Charlene's kicking his butt at the moment.
Go girl. Love that.
Because she's turning up, training, and But now she's a part of that community now. She's looking up at the leaderboard. She's getting props for being at the top. And,
I've got to get mine back out. I've got to charge it.
Yeah.
I'm going to be on top of that leaderboard.
Yeah,
just you
let's
wait.
do it. Yeah, April. Yeah, I'll be onto it. I'll be trying.
That's April.
Trying to go for it in the top.
we've had our refer a friend this month.
Yep.
Bring all your mates in, refer a friend. If you get a new member, you get 2 weeks taken off your membership, and then if you bring in the most referrals, you get a 3-month free membership on top of what you got. So it's worthwhile. And if you're thinking about, bringing a mate down, or your mates are like, umming and ahhing, now's the time, because we've got a few specials on as well with our March Madness memberships. So, bring them down,
100%.
get around them. They can come down and have a free trial, and, they can join in with the crew.
But it's been good. We've had a fair few people referring and getting more legends and people that know, you know what I mean? It's like, right, if you're a member at the gym and you got a mate, we trust your judgment. Do you know what I mean? Like
if you're a legend and you train here, you can bring your mates too.
You're likely mates with legends as well. So, it's always a good thing. But just building on that community, I guess. Yeah. And, we'll be doing more of these podcasts as well. This is me and Nick every now and then. We'll get on it and make sure everyone knows what's going on.
And we want to know what you guys want. So I don't know if there's like a link below, or they can comment on this, or they can...
We can sort something out.
I'm new to this.
Mate,
I'm not very tech savvy, as Jacko knows. But we want to know what you want to hear about. Like, is there something you want Jax to talk about, or is there someone you'd like to hear on the podcast, or do you want to be on this podcast? Have you achieved something and you're like, I want to share it? We want to get around you as well.
100%. Yeah, I'd love to get some members' stories, like where they started, what they were doing, and then what they've done, what results they've gotten from it, and all that
or
sort of
even
thing.
like a massive injury and you've recovered, or what's helped you recover, get through that.
Getting into the minds of our members, because you don't realise like your story, or even just the things that you go through day to day, like your thought process with your training or whatever, can inspire other people. It's like, you can get like some supreme athlete in there, and it's like a lot of our members probably won't relate to that as well. Maybe the fighters and stuff might, but like, a lot of we're just everyday people, so hearing from everyday people and their challenges and how they've overcame it. I'm not here to teach you English or science, all right? But it's always really, really helpful, I think, to hear from people like yourself as well. So if you would be keen, I'd love to have you on. But we're likely going to segment things and have different kinds of podcasts running in this studio with like Jenna and the coaches, fighters, members. We'll probably get special guests and stuff.
Absolutely.
Maybe a nutritionist, some
scientist.
Scientist, we might have to. But then also a physio. Oh, pardon me. A physio, spare the mind. A physio or someone like that can add some value as well. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
But lots of shits and gigs, and just I don't know, have a bit of fun with it.
Absolutely, mate.
All right, legends. That's it, Nick. Good job, mate.
We got it. We got the dogs. We did our first freaking podcast,
if you're
mate.
still listening, well done. You got the dog too.
We did a lot of jargon.
It's a lot of hard work listening to these two idiots.
I think we did all right, mate. I think we did all right.
I think we did all right. All right, legends. Catch you in the next one.
Peace.